Hello, Capricorn. This is Gypsy Spirit here with you, and I'm ready to give you your reading, tarot reading and oracle card reading for October 2022. And just for those of you that have never seen my videos before, these are general readings. So some of it may resonate, some of it may not. What resonates with you, wonderful. And if it doesn't resonate with you, then just toss it out. Keep with you what does resonate. And also, if you want your own personal reading, you can get that very easy. All you got to do is just go to the box below where my website is listed and go there to my website, and it will give you instructions on how to get your own personal reading. So in the meantime, let's go ahead and get started. Capricorn, I've already pulled out your cards, and it looks to me like there's something going on. Two of your cards talk about making a decision. I don't even know where to start first. As I was shuffling all the cards, something came to me. And again, this is a general reading, so it may apply to you, it may not. But you pick your story. But there's a decision that you're having to make about something. And something came to me that there's some of you out there, or may just be one particular person, I don't know, that is going through or thinking about ending their marriage or ending their relationship. And two of your cards told me that you needed to make a decision. Not only that, your angel card, Opal, talks about you being concerned about children. So let's go ahead. Let me look at the cards and read the cards one by one. But before we do that, I have a bonus card for you that I want to show you. I usually read it at the end of the reading, but I feel led to read it at the beginning of this reading. And it is make a decision. These are beautiful cards. And this card is telling you that it's like one side is telling you, yes, make a decision. And then there's another part of you that's like battling, should you go this way or you should go that way? But it's telling you, make a decision. It says your sheer determination is highlighted at this time. Your spirit will support your desires and manifestations. The ability to create or destroy has always been within your skill base. You have the wisdom and confidence needed to use the skills correctly. Now is a time to act. If you know what it is you want to accomplish and why, since the powers of transformation are at your command, change your desires into objectives, your thoughts into actions, your goals into achievements. If you have recently met with failure, know you can change that failure into success. The only limits that you have are those you impose on yourself. So, whatever it is, whether it be a marriage, job, relationship, or whatever, it is time now for you to make a decision, and you have everything you need. The map card is telling me that you've been going through some sort of a balancing act. You're really, whatever the situation is, you're really struggling with it because you're trying to manifest and balance what you really want in your life, but yet you're still stuck on something. And so you're trying to find some balance with it. The Seven of Pentacles, all your tarot cards are in reverse, honey. So Capricorn, whatever it is that's going on in your world, it is time for you to move forward. Whatever your decision is. The Seven of Pentacles is in reverse. Pentacles is usually about money, but it could be other things. It could be a marriage. It could be whatever it is you've been trying to work on. When it's in reverse like this, sometimes we feel like we want to throw in the towel, and we're not sure if it's time to throw in the towel or not. So we just keep grinding and grinding at it, and it's like we're a chicken running around in circles with our heads cut off, and we don't know really what we're doing, and we're trying. That's where the balancing act is coming in. It's like you're trying and trying to make something work, and you just, don't know what to do next. Seven of Pentacles, sweetheart, is telling you, no, it's not working. It's time to throw in the towel. Okay? So the Ace of Cups is in also reverse. Now, Cups is about spirituality, love, emotions, that sort of thing. This is in reverse. Whatever it is, there's no love there. There's no love. You're not, it's just, it's over. It's over. Like I said, this is a general reading. And I hope I'm not telling anybody, oh, go get your divorce. But this is a decision. This is something you've been thinking about for a long time. And you're trying to balance it out. And it's been really hard. It's something very, very heavy on your heart. Opal is your angel card. And I feel, like I said earlier, I feel like there's children involved. You're worried about children. It says your children on earth and in heaven are happy and well cared for by God and the angels. I'll tell you a story. I come from a very strong Christian background, and I was married for 13 years to a man who I'd met in church, and was married for 13 years to him and was absolutely miserable from day one. I put on 100 pounds. He was emotionally and mentally horrible. I mean, he wasn't physically abusive, but he was abusive in so many other ways. But, and at that time, being in the faith that we were in, the divorce is taboo in the Christian church. And I thought the only way, for a long time, I wanted to get out of my marriage. I was so unhappy. And I thought for a long time that the only way out of my marriage would be suicide. But I had 2 children. And I didn't want to do that to my kids. And I remember I started going through an awakening. Things started happening very slowly. But I guess, God only gives us, he gives us just what we need at the time. He can't give it all to us because it would just overwhelm us. And for about 3 weeks, every morning I would wake up and I would hear God say to me, it's okay to leave. You've done everything that you possibly can. It's okay for you to leave your husband. He's not done right by you. And finally, when I finally made my decision to leave, the very morning that I was going to talk to my husband and tell him that I was leaving, he took our son to school. At the time, our son, his name was Noah. I think Noah was probably about 8 at that time, 8 or 9. And so he took Noah to school, and when he came back, it was about 8:30 in the morning, and I sat at the kitchen table and told him what I was going to do. And he began to cry, and he told me at about 5 o'clock in the morning, he heard God telling him that he had not been the husband or the father that he needed to be. And he thought that that was God's way of telling him that he needed to change. And I said, no, that was God giving you a heads up why I was leaving. And I left, and it was the hardest thing for me to do because I was leaving, I was breaking the family apart. But now that I look back on it, I would have died. I would not have survived living in that situation. My health had really deteriorated, and I was young. So for whatever reason why I told you that, there's somebody out there that's supposed to hear that. I don't know. I don't encourage people to get divorced, but there is a decision that you are needing to make about something. Like I said, a general reading. It could be marriage, relationship. It could be a child that you may have to cut off because they're so toxic. It could be a job, anything. So general reading again. But whatever the case may be, it's really, really important for you, Capricorn, at this time to make a decision. You've got to move on. You can't continue on. The Tower card is in reverse also. And it's like there's a new energy that is trying to come in. It's like you're resisting, you're fighting something. I don't know what it is. Like I said, you're fighting, making a change, and something is, it's like you're not allowed, it's you're resisting, you know. You've got to trust, just trust, you know. A long time, well, after I got divorced, well, I wasn't really divorced. We stayed separated for a really long time, but we lived totally separate lives. It was like we were divorced. But anyway, I had a boyfriend that I lived with, and he was an alcoholic. And yeah, I jumped from one frying pan right into the next, right? And I was there for about 2 years, and I was in a situation where I really had no money to move. I didn't have anything. And this guy, I mean, he was an alcoholic. And I mean, I was there because he was funny and the sex was good. And I really had no place else to go. And I knew that God was trying to tell me to get out of that situation too, but I was really in a comfort zone at that point, and I wasn't ready to leave. But a friend, I was a practitioner. This lady had a metaphysical store, and she rented rooms out to practitioners of metaphysics. And so I would rent a room to do my tarot readings and energy healing. And I was talking to her one day, and I was telling her about the boyfriend and some of the things that were going on. And she said, "You've got to get out of here." And I said, "Well, I can't, because I don't have any money, and I don't really know where to go." And she said, "You have to put one foot in front of the other, and you have to trust God, that God will take care of it." And I didn't listen to her. But I was put in a situation where I actually did have to leave. And you know what? I didn't go homeless. I thought I was going to. I thought I was going to have to live in my car. But I didn't go homeless. It all worked out. I ended up finding a place to live. And I stayed with a friend of mine for a couple of months until I got on my feet a little bit, and then, you know, found a roommate and stayed with that roommate for about 5 months until I got my own place. You know, things just happen. So the reason why I'm telling you this, Capricorn, is because you may just be in a situation where you got to make this decision. You got to move forward. Stop resisting and do what you know that you got to do. But you also have to trust. You have to start talking to your angels and your spirit guides and just put it out to the universe what it is that you need so that you can move forward. And just trust. The real interesting card is after I drew the bonus card that says make a decision, okay? The next card that I drew is the flower card. The reason why I use the flower therapy cards is because they have such beautiful positive messages. And I love flowers. And wisteria is one of my favorite flowers, which is the flower that I drew. And guess what it says? It says, time to decide. Make a decision now so you can move forward. So, honey, whatever is whatever misconceptions or um, fears that you may be having, it's like your heart, you know, in your heart, it's time to move forward. You know, if I had not gone through the leaving my husband, right after I left him, I was really blessed. I mean, I had a place I had a vintage clothing store, and I had met a lot of people there, and I closed it just before I left my husband. I knew, like, things were happening, and there was a reason why I needed to close that store. But I ended up living with this woman who invited me to come stay with her. She lived in a beautiful, beautiful home, didn't charge me any rent, but it was, at that time, I went through an awakening, had an amazing spiritual awakening experience, and it changed my life overnight. Well, everything didn't change all at once, but it definitely changed my life. And over the next years is when I discovered who I really am and what I am. And if you would have told me back then, if somebody would have come and told me before I told my husband that I was going to leave, if somebody would have told me that I was going to be reading tarot cards, I probably wouldn't have left. Because I was petrified when it was revealed to me that I would be reading tarot cards. I was so scared. But now, you know, I mean, it's taken 10 years, or well, longer than 10 years, because that was like in 2010, so 12 years. But it's taken a long time, and things happen really fast. But again, the universe is not going to put anything on you that you can't handle. And it's going to come little bits and pieces at a time. But you got to stop resisting. This Tower card, it's like there's an energy trying to come in, trying to move. But you've got an energy that is filled with fear and you know, not wanting to make the changes that the universe is trying to help you move forward into. So you've got to make a decision. Are you going to stay like this, or are you going to move forward? And the Seven of Pentacles, my dear, is telling you it's time to move forward. It's time. It's time to throw in the towel. Whatever it is. Again, this is a general reading. You pick your story, whatever it is. I really hope this helped. I really hope it helped you. If, I would love to hear from some of you, whatever you want to tell me. But again, if you want your own personal reading, you can get that. All you have to do is go down to my website, which is located in the box below. And Capricorn, I will see you again next month. If you like this video, please hit the like button. And also, if you'd like to subscribe to my future videos, please hit the subscribe button. I will see you in November. Have a good October and be safe. Bye-bye.